What's up everyone, it's Chris from Lion Punch Forge. It's been a little while, but hopefully we can break that streak of me not posting a video and kick it off with something good. So today we're going to be demoing these guys. These are the new and currently on pre-order Paperclip Mandrels for making paperclip chains. I have a 1 inch, a 3/4 of an inch, and a 1/2 inch version. They're all around about an 1/8 inch thickness, so they have nice, awesome chains that you can make with these guys. I'm going to zoom close. This one is a variety that is more of a barbed wire link, and then I have another one that is more of the traditional paperclip link. I'll get some close-up pictures, throw them in the actual video, edit it in, and yeah. So today, tutorial on how to use these by making some paperclip chain bracelets, and these are made out of copper. I think normally, as you guys know, I like to prototype things in copper, and then when I do production, I have kind of all the kinks worked out. So today we're going to be using, where'd it go? We're going to be using silver, sterling silver. For this project, you can use kind of any gauge. I want a nice, thick, substantial, nice piece of jewelry, so I'm going to be using 12 gauge round, and this is half hard. So 12 gauge sterling silver, half hard, and let's start it off by showing you how to use some of these little mandrels here. We're going to be doing this barbed wire link, but before we get to the barbed wire link, you'll see how to make this particular link, which is just a pretty standard paperclip chain. We're going to be using, like I said before, 12 gauge wire. This stuff is sterling silver and it's half hard. You don't necessarily want hard, you want to be able to pull it and bend it around your mandrel. So the way this guy works is I have 3 different sizes, like we'd said, and there's a hole in one end and a nice Lion Punch Forge stamp on the other. You're going to insert your wire through that hole, and then you're going to twist so that you have a nice point of kind of clamp force, and then you're going to twirl this around. What works best for this particular type of link is to place your wire in a vise with a piece of leather kind of clamped around it like this, and the vise is going to be clamped here, and we're going to be able to pull our wire through onto our mandrel, and I'll demonstrate that. So that's step 1. The other thing that you could potentially do before you do this step is you can wrap like college lined paper around your mandrel and then wrap your links around it. Doing that is going to make it so that your links may slide off a little bit easier, but I found so far that it's not necessary with these because I have all the edges nice and polished for this mandrel. So we take you guys over to the vise and we'll show you what's up. Alright, we are at the vise, and what I'm going to do to begin with is take my piece of leather. I'm going to open my vise up so that I can get it kind of sandwiched in there, kind of like that. Then I'm going to take my wire, oops, not like that. We'll sandwich the wire around first. And I'm not going to close it super tight. I'm going to close it until I got a little bit of tension, and then I want to see whether or not I can pull my wire through the leather. And when I can't, I'll just open up my vise a little bit, close it down, try and get that right tension. So for this particular link, it takes approximately a little over 2.5 inches to make one link, and I'm going to need to make, let's see, I'm going to make maybe 18 or 20 different links. I haven't counted the links for my bracelet, but I do know that I think it's right around 10 links, and she needs a little bit less, so making 20 gives me plenty of accidental mistake room. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to place my wire tip into the mandrel, zoom this out a little bit, and I'm going to bend it so I have a nice starting position. And I'm a little bit tighter because I could feel that wire moving out. And I'm going to wrap and pull a little looser. There it goes. And wrap. So that's 2. 3. Keeping tension is really important during this process. By tension meaning I'm pulling up on the wire, and it takes a little bit of effort for me to do so, so that my wrap around my mandrel is nice and tight.
Let's be the change we want to see about. We are links in a chain. We are links in a chain. An important wagon on a moving train. In this we're all the same. We're links in a chain.
Alright, so there is my links. I'm going to grab some flush cutters. Pull up on that so I have tension. And then I'm going to give it a snip. Take the rest of this wire out. And I'll show you what I do next. Okay, next I like to take a piece of leather, lay it on my my bench block, and then I'll take a rawhide mallet, make sure I'm nice and tight, and then I'm just going to give it a little bit of whack, both sides. What that's going to do is kind of even out the links, and then when I snip this, hopefully it slides right off. Let's save that guy for later. Now this should slide right off. If it doesn't, that's okay too. I'm going to give it a couple more little nice whacks. I start to slide off now. And it's going to do that, which is okay, because you're going to take it over, you're going to anneal it next. So by annealing it, I'm going to make it nice and pliable. I'm able to bend it back, and then I'm able to saw my links. So off camera, I'm going to go and anneal this, and I'll be back in a second. At the workbench, got my bench pin right in front of me. You can saw these kind of any way you see fit, whatever works best for you. This is a little bit too big and awkward for the jump ring cutter that Pepetools makes, but what you're also going to want to make sure you do with this is you don't saw the links right down the middle, saw them on your ends. So nice end. That means that when you link them together and they're hanging, the solder joint is hidden by the link that it's linked to. So you can hide your solder joints that way, which is pretty awesome. So for me, I'm going to saw this using my, I don't know, should I use my green haymaker or my custom handle haymaker or my, we got these guys. I go with my gold or my purple. I think I'm going to go with the purple. So to saw this, I'm going to be using a haymaker saw. Sing. The other side of what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this custom made thing that I made for my GRS bench pin. It's got a drill chuck on the front of it, and in that drill chuck, place him somewhere. In that drill chuck, I have a split mandrel that I made from titanium. Steel works equally as well. I picked this up, didn't realize it was titanium. It was in my mixed parts bin, and well, titanium works too. So I'm going to place that little split mandrel in my drill chuck, and you'll be able to see that it pops right on there. I have my mandrel nice and upright so I can see my groove. I'm going to line this guy like I want it. And then I'm going to tighten it down with my chuck key. And I'm going to take my coil and I'm going to slide it right on there so I can start sawing immediately. I'm going to open up my it's called a bench skin or catch tray or whatever you want to call it. Piece of leather on my bench. Pulls out so I get to save my silver bits. Let's see, I've got my saw. And the other important part of sawing is lubrication. So I got my Pepetools blade butter here. I'm going to smear some on top of the coil so I continually lubricate my blade as I go. And I can actually put some on here too. More lube the better. So grab our saw. And then I'm just going to go ahead and start sawing.
They better start hiding. We'll be running with the lions, lions. We'll be running with the lions, lions. They can't run, they can't hide. We won't stop until they're down. We'll be running with the lions, lions.
Alright, now that I have my links, I have them all kind of strung up on a nice little piece of copper here. I'm going to pickle them because I have lubrication, I have saw, swarf, all that kind of stuff all over these. And the soldering operation is going to require me to have a nice clean piece of silver to get the best possible joint that I can with these guys. So I'm going to drop those in the pickle and I will be back. Here's some chain making magic. I'm going to solder the top row of all these together, and I'm going to leave these links separate. Because if I solder all these without any of the other links, it leaves my process a lot easier to do. So what I'm going to end up doing is, like a jump ring, I'm going to close this up until I can get as tight a join as possible. And then I'm going to solder that. So we'll close these guys up. And solder them. And we'll just keep on doing this. I'm at my soldering station and I have arranged all of my links so that my solder joint is facing the same direction, and I have a little pile of solder here and my Pepetools soldering pick. What I'm going to do to begin with is I'm going to get a little bit of Smart Flux and I'm going to spray that area down so I get it on my links, and then I'm going to take my torch and I'm going to heat up this little area here. This is a technique that I like to do because I don't have to reheat up the background of any of my links as I'm soldering chain. So I'm going to start our torch. I'm going to start heating up the area and have fun. Watch this out. now that I have my links soldered kind of halfway, I'm going to take my unsoldered links and I'm going to basically link them together. So I have 2 soldered and 1 unsoldered. And then I'm going to go and do the same thing. Put another one on. Got 1 soldered, another one unsoldered. Move those together. Next one. Unsoldered. Soldered. Now I have my 2 chains. Now if I'm going to stop at this point and solder those joints, and now I have a paperclip chain like this, you could stop there, put it on your links, finish up the soldering and polish it and call it good. You have a little bracelet, 2 little bracelets, just like that. Now what I'm going to do though is I want both of them to be the barbed wire type, like these guys. So I'm going to finish soldering, and then I'm going to take it over to my vise and I'm going to twist it like you would for a Cuban link chain. So I'm going to go ahead and solder those. I'll let you guys watch, probably in extra speed, because yes, watching somebody soldering is like watching paint dry. Alright, so I should mention the method in which that I am soldering these. I'm using a third hand, but what I'm going to do is take my third hand, I'm going to find my open link, like right here, and I'm going to position my third hand down there at the bottom so that it acts as a heat sink and allows for the solder to flow in that area without reflowing the solder on the other end. So you can use your third hands like a heat sink to stop from happening. You can also lay it flat on the soldering board and solder it that way. I like this, kind of cool. But you'd have to quench each time you do your chain, so I don't know. I'm going to do one way, I'll do the other way, and you guys can decide which one you like better. Alright, I tried something new and I think I like it better. Let me show you. So I haven't exactly done it yet, but I've arranged all these links so that they're separated from the already soldered ones, and the ones that need to be soldered are already up front, so I can just put my do my solder picking just like that and not have to move and quench and move and quench. So I'm going to try this. So far the way I'm liking the way it's looking, but I'll let you know if I've changed my mind on my process. Alright, so I have my finished chains here. Now if I wanted to just go with a paperclip chain, these are all soldered together, ready to go. Clean them up, do what you're going to do, put a clasp on them, make them longer, make it into a necklace. Nice long. So if you wanted to, you could stop right there. If you want to kind of see how I do the barbed wire link, keep on watching.